Welcome back. Hopefully you are getting a ton of value from this course. Again, the only thing I ask is share it with everybody. If you've got any comments, any feedback, feel free to give me an email, david@wearecamber.co.uk, or leave a comment below. Again, that's why we've put this course for free, and hopefully this gets the message out there about it. But the biggest thing that we're going to talk about now, and this is possibly going to be one of the busiest videos, one of the most viewed videos that we're going to do of this whole course here, is something that I hear time and time again from drivers struggling with, and that is the approach. How do I reach out to businesses? How do I reach out to brands? I send emails, I send everything, and I get nothing back. And usually the answer is incredibly simple. And it seems to be that the way things are done just now is a blank email. Just a unsolicited email to a brand that you've never spoken to before with your sponsorship proposal attached, saying you think they'd be a great fit because X, Y, and Z, and you never hear anything back. I don't get how that's a surprise. I don't get how, because the next question I ask is, what do you do when you receive an unsolicited email that looks kind of businessy? 99 times out of 100, you ignore it. It goes straight in the bin. It gets straight into the trash. That's if it was even in your inbox in the first place. So instead, my suggestion, and again, this is just my suggestion on this, is you have to build up a relationship first before you send that email. You have to speak to the businesses so that they at least expect your email coming through. The approach that I suggest is a little bit controversial. Some people will say that it's not genuine, but I disagree. I think that there's nothing more genuine than building up an actual relationship with someone before you ask anything of them. You have to be their cheerleader. You have to be providing value to them and proving that you're providing value to them before you even ask any questions of them whatsoever. So that is always my first point of call. If ever there is a brand that you're wanting to work with, you have to follow them on all the socials. You have to start making your notes on them. You have to start researching them inside out. Follow them on Instagram, follow them on LinkedIn, follow them on whatever other platforms that you're naturally on, and start liking their stuff. Start liking and commenting and engaging with the content that they're putting out there. Step one, it starts getting you on their radar. It starts making them aware that you are actually a person. They might not know who you are, but at least it starts building some goodwill. Because let's face it, 9 times out of 10, when you interact with a brand on social media, you're not directly interacting with their brand. You're interacting with their social media manager, whose thankless task is to schedule content that is there to get your eyeballs. That is a human being at the end of the day, and that potentially is a contact within the business. So be nice to them, react to the stuff, engage with the content that they're putting out, and be nice about it. Share it if you feel so inclined. You don't have to share it, but if you want to, again, that shows that you're bringing value and happy to bring value. And you've not even introduced yourself. You've not even asked for anything in return. Already, you're ahead of the curve of about 50 to 60% of the majority of drivers out there just by doing that. You've got no idea how many drivers I speak to that will just identify a company that they want to work with and then just send the email without giving any value whatsoever in return. So that one step is an amazing way to be ahead of the curve. Now, the other one, and this feels super sneaky, but for me it's just common sense. So we've identified the business that we potentially want to get on board with. So who do you think would be the best person to speak to at that business? Well, likely it's going to be somebody in their branding or marketing team that you're going to want to speak to. But David, how do I find out who is in their marketing? I mean, it's not like there's any websites out there that do that, is there? Of course, I'm being facetious. There are websites like Apollo that you can sign up for. I'll put the link below. Sign up for a free account. All you have to do is type in the brand and type in the business. Don't hit enter. Just type in the business and it'll come up with a list of top people that have been searched for at that company. All you have to then do is type in the brand that you want to work with, space, marketing, and guess what? 9 times out of 10, you've got their marketing manager, you've got their marketing director, you've got an idea of who you need to reach. My next step after that is type that person's name into LinkedIn. Find them on LinkedIn and follow them. Don't connect with them immediately unless you've got mutual connections. It's super weird and it's super cringy as well. Follow them on LinkedIn. If they're active on LinkedIn, again, do the same as you were doing to the brand page. Like the stuff. Comment if you've got something valuable to add to it, and instead of just going, oh yeah, that was a nice post. If they're talking about something that actually interests you, add a comment onto it. You're bringing direct value to that person. And again, you're now directly letting somebody know that you're on their radar and that they potentially might start being on your radar. It's a super easy way, and I don't know why drivers aren't doing it a lot more often, because at the end of the day, these people that are putting out content, 9 times out of 10, they're not getting any sort of response whatsoever. You're, again, bringing direct value to a person who might have a direct influence at that company. So it's super, super straightforward. But again, once you've done that, you're then starting to bring value. You're starting to bring their attention potentially to you. How do you get that foot in the door? How do you send that message? I personally tend to operate on asking for permission. That's the basis that I ask for. So I will message, or rather than message, I will leave comments and I will interact with their stuff. And then I will invite, if they want to have a conversation, say, I'd love to have a DM with you about what you do, and potentially, if there's any way I can bring value. I have yet to find a driver that has not had success with that particular chain of thought, because it's so unsalesy. You're just trying to invite them for a conversation. You're just trying to invite them for a chat, have a coffee, have a virtual Zoom meeting, have just a message. You're not even asking for a commitment from them to have a Zoom meeting with you. You're just asking them to have a message. It's the easiest way, because they can absolutely put you in the bin if you dare immediately reach out with your sales pitch after it. All you're trying to do is you're trying to establish a human one-to-one connection with somebody of influence within a company you're trying to work with. You cannot get any more direct than that as an approach. The reason why your approach isn't working right now is because A, it's going to no one. You're not targeting anyone. You're sending it to a business, but guarantee it's going to an info at the business name, or a generic catch-all inbox that gets read by an intern or a receptionist, that their job is to weed out the crap. And that's before it even gets to an AI filter or whatever. If you've got a direct contact within that business that you have got a semblance of a relationship with, you can work on building that relationship. That should be your focus of effort. That should be what you're trying to do. So again, we've identified the brand, we've identified the person of interest within the brand, we've started a relationship with them, and we've invited them to have a conversation. Again, in that conversation, invite them, ask them for permission to send that email and say, I'm really thinking of ways that we can work together. I've got an offering that might be of interest to you. Again, then you can try and take it that way. But I almost think that the whole thing of sending a proposal is so outdated, is so doesn't have a place in this day and age. Because if we've done all the work right before, we went through all the previous steps of identifying a brand and things that we can do to try and help them, a proposal feels very, very like stuck in its ways, almost like it's in stone. Whereas if we can present a way that we can work together with them in terms of doing social content, in terms of doing things together that they need, that can only come from having a conversation with them. So if you can send a proposal after you've had that initial outreach, think of how tailored that's going to feel. Think of how unsalesy that's going to feel when it all spawns from what feels like a genuine, natural connection with them. So that's as simple for me as it sounds. Maybe it's my way of thinking. Maybe it's that whole thing that I've got of like when I get a maze, I like to start at the end and try and work my way backwards. And you're always focusing on the goal. It's easy to get mixed up. It's easy to get lost. It's easy to get distracted by all the shiny things that are around. But it's super, super simple when you remember that all you're trying to do is have that relationship with a human being at the end of the day. So hopefully that helps you with the approach and getting your foot in the door. There's lots and lots of ways that you can try, and lots of ways that you can succeed, and lots of ways that you will fail on your way to that. But again, focus on the human being that is at the end of that journey for you and building your relationship and getting them essentially to do three things: to know you, to like you, and to trust you. That's the only three things that you have to worry about with that person. So that covers the approach and getting your foot in the door. Next up then, we are going to be working on your proposal and crafting an irresistible offer.